What's going on, my little nighttime motherfuckers? Alright, so now I'm making motherfuckers laugh because it was making me laugh earlier today. I actually told this story the other day. Probably gonna split it into two stories because this way you motherfuckers can have some laughs in the morning and stuff like that to make up for yesterday. Hopefully it makes motherfuckers laugh. It made me laugh. Actually, no, it made me cry and almost have an asthma attack when it happened. So I'll tell you motherfuckers now. Alright. My dear brother from another mother, Benny. All right, he got a job being a forklift operator in this place that did like a lot of like the best way to describe it, they did like in rivers and waterways, they did a lot of like salvage recovery. That's the best way of describing that. Okay, pretend like a little river, or like something where tugboats go by and whatever, or cargo ships. Sometimes people drop like, cars and bridge pieces fall down and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, normally like wood doesn't damage a ship that goes by and stuff like that, but metal does. So they got to run like these giant magnets on a crane, and they got to run it under the water. Now they can't use the they call the electro, like basically the one that they give the charge. They can't use that because obviously the water. But what they can use is these they call them 1,000-pound magnets. They're not 1,000 pounds, but the pull of it is 1,000 pounds. So anyway, the crane, it would lift this huge pallet that had several bricks of magnet that each one could pull 1,000 pounds. So it's like this giant, like 6 by 6, like it's this giant square, but inside of it is like these fucking robust magnets. I mean, like it can pull a car. So anyway, Benny's job was to basically take this forklift, take it, lift it, move it, and get it ready for when they were going out to different sites. No big deal. But one day, Benny, driving this fucking thing, he was trying to stack it in a certain way, so this way he can, get a better angle at it. The problem was he stacked it next to a wall that had metal. So that freaking magnet jumped off the lift and just smacked to the wall and just held on. Only Benny, right? So here is the magnet is no longer on the lift. It's stuck to the wall. And everybody's like, how the fuck we're going to take this off? Like, no joke. Like, this is like, must have been a row of 15 magnets, each one 1,000-pound pull. And then like another 5 rows going down and across. So this thing was like bonded there forever. And these people at the fucking warehouse, they did everything. They were trying to pull it. They were trying to use the forklift. They were doing everything. They tried to pry it. There was nothing that they could do. But this thing cost a lot of money. All those magnets, they were big money. And they needed it for a job site. So while everybody's standing there trying to figure out and look, and they were doing all kinds of fucking things, except for the most important thing. They didn't keep an eye on Benny. Because that day, Benny decided to be fucking Elon. And he was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember something in school. So he turned around and he's like, magnets, if you put them on the opposite side, they repel each other. So he goes to this freaking, it's half a forklift. He goes to the other side and he gets the exact same type of square magnet that was there for another delivery, another run. He lifts it up and he spins around the entire crowd of people that are trying to like, they're all taking their turn. You're like in Thor when they're trying to lift up the hammer. That's what these motherfuckers are doing. They were trying to pull it off the wall because the wall had the girders underneath. So this thing was permanently bonded. They didn't see Benny just flying by them on the other side with the little yellow light. He had this fucking magnet like ready, like it was facing forward. So he spun to the other side of the wall and he started driving at the wall. Now the thing was, nobody on the other side saw this, but Benny was coming in hot with a magnet. So remember I said that this magnet, each one of these bricks had 1,000 pounds of pull. Well, then, technically speaking, Benny's magnet that was coming towards that wall would have 1,000 pounds of push per magnet. So it was two forces that were gonna hit each other. And here was Benny just driving. He fucking drove it at that wall. And Benny said that at a certain point, it felt like a force field was resisting the vehicle. So he just gunned it. He stepped on that fucking whatever, electric propane, whatever thing it was, and he gunned it to the wall. Sure enough, all of a sudden, Benny said he heard the loudest fucking bam, and people screaming on the other side. Oh, Benny's magnet hit the wall too, but on the other side got stuck. So he's like, this is fucked up. Now my magnet is stuck. So he gets off his forklift and he goes over and he was going to go to the other side of the wall to tell them, yeah, I got another magnet stuck over here. Well, Benny didn't expect when he went around, the motherfuckers vaporized. Motherfuckers like, call the ambulance. I don't feel my legs. The motherfuckers were gaseous because that giant pallet of heavy brick magnets went flying. Like it just fucking, it vaporized everybody. Later on, Benny told me that there was a guy that had like his ear to the fucking magnet. He said, does it make a sound? Yeah, kaboom, motherfucker. That's the fucking sound. The sound was Jesus telling you, you're next in line. That's fucked up. Benny lost that fucking job too. But before he lost it, though, oh, by the way, that's how he got the job doing the forklift for the fat guy. Remember how he was lifting the guy into the pool? But the thing is, before he lost that thing, you know, he was explaining like, let's talk about it. I put the magnet on the other side and it'll repel it. But Benny had no way of knowing that the people were like, you know how guys after a while, they're trying to pull it and whatever. You know, back then, if there was fucking cell phone cameras, they would be taking selfies with it. So they just got fucking mangled. Like it was ambulances and all kinds of stuff. So it was funny because Benny was with a union. And since he did that type of work, that's where they got him the job, that, you know, craning the fat dude, bringing him back and forth. So you guys ever wonder how he wound up there? It's because they kicked him out of the job site with the magnets. So stay away from magnets. Science, motherfuckers.